We're gonna start with the remaining of the program. I want to take this opportunity to thank Ranking Rights, Rebecca, and all this wonderful panel for a great introduction to our conference. I just wanted to say a few words of welcoming. We're gonna have Lee Bollinger on a video. Unfortunately, he left the country for a visit tour that was not planned at the time we were organizing the conference, but he very kindly taped a video to welcome you and talk a little bit more about freedom of expression as he sees it. And then we'll move to the first panel of the conference, which, as our friends will talk about, is an attempt for all of us to understand how far we've gone in terms of bringing a global perspective to what has been eminently conceived as a national issue until internet, but even with internet. So we are gonna, through the next session, really try to share initiative and experience to strengthen a global perspective on freedom of expression, and that's something that is very close to the heart of our initiative. But before doing so and giving the floor to this fantastic panel, we're going to listen to Lee Bollinger. I'm looking upstairs, and they are doing it. Thank you so much.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to be with you in person today because of international travel to participate in this important conference that provides always a unique opportunity to reflect on the state of freedom of expression jurisprudence across the globe. When we last met 2 years ago, there were palpable concerns among us. Many of you here today were there, about escalating challenges to freedom of expression, something many of you were experiencing in your work as journalists, advocates, activists, and scholars. The concerns, unfortunately, proved well-founded. Since then, there have been major moves toward outright rejection of free speech values, continued endemic and systematic repression in some regions, and significant erosion of the ideal of global norms in others. Even so, it would have been difficult then to anticipate how pervasive and politicized the issue of fake news would become, particularly in the United States, where historically our respect for First Amendment speech and press freedoms and our ethos of journalistic independence and integrity have long stood above partisan politics. Neither could we have predicted that debates about whether Facebook is the new public forum would turn to furor over its misuse of ostensibly private data and its failure to prevent the spread of misinformation at unprecedented speed and with nearly unlimited reach across its platform. Efforts emerging in a number of countries to address the spread of fake news over social media, however, have the potential to open up new avenues for censorship, where laws and regulations designed to promote, quote, truth can also become yet another potent instrument to control journalistic freedom. Careful consideration and vigilance is obviously required, and transparency and accountability must be ensured as always to preserve that the bedrock conditions for functioning democracies are kept. Against this backdrop, there is still reason to remain hopeful that the principles of freedom of expression will emerge from the current pressures exerted by populist and nationalist and authoritarian forces as ever more robust global norms. The judicial decisions highlighted in this year's nominations Nominations for the Global Freedom of Expression Awards are a testament to the continued strength of the courts in many parts of the world in protecting freedom of expression jurisprudence. And in some cases, courts have ruled in ways that expand freedom of expression, a truly notable achievement given the global, regional, and national contexts. For instance, courts have determined that criminal defamation is unconstitutional, that a government cannot refuse to register LGBT advocacy groups as associations, that there is a fundamental obligation to investigate thoroughly violence against journalists, and that failure to do so is a violation of a right of free expression. It is the remarkable work of lawyers, national and international NGOs, and pro bono firms through their briefs and defense to enable the court's rulings by ensuring that progressive decisions and norms advanced in one jurisdiction get attention they deserve in others. Many of the unsung heroes of this ongoing project of developing global norms are in the room today. I appreciate very much what all of you here today do to advocate and expand global norms, champion the importance of independent and impartial judicial institutions, and protect the freedom of expression principles that are foundational to any free society. Thank you for participating in this conference and contributing to the work of Columbia Global Freedom of Expression. As always, my thanks and congratulations to Agnès Callamard. I look forward to hearing about the discussions you have today and your recommendations for how best to respond to the many challenges we are confronting. Thank you.